In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about having irresponsible apple peeler care, being unhygienic in a public space, and doing what weird people on the internet tell you to do by becoming a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. In our discussion of Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. I almost said, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult, and sometimes other books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to discuss Things Have Gone Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca.
Standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book,
okay,
please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up. I feel like I should apologize in advance for this one. Because... You know what? No, we'll do background info first. And then I can apologize.
This is not last week's episode where we just messed around with the order like crazy people.
Right.
Like
no.
Psychopaths.
Right. No. So, I read an interview with Dark Dispatch, and they ask where, if anywhere identifiable, did this story come from? Was there a character or scene that started you off? And Eric LaRocca's response is, the story developed from my fascination with our culture heavily influenced by the internet and mythic lore surrounding certain infamous videos and posts circulating the interweb. I grew up in the early 2000s, so I've always had the internet and technology at my disposal. Although I'm skilled when it comes to navigating technology because I was exposed to it at such a young age, I've always been frightened of coming across sensitive information that I wasn't supposed to access. He goes on to say this novella seemed like an excellent opportunity to venture further down that rabbit hole and expose myself to some deeply upsetting material. Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
/ trigger warning.
Yeah. So, I don't remember how I first came across this one.
Can we blame Reddit? I'm going to blame Reddit.
Well, we can, but I don't know if it was Reddit. I might have gotten it in an email. It might have popped up after reading something else. But everyone knows that I love weird, dark, just fucked up horror. And I think this is probably the only one that we will cover, because it's just so dark and fucked up.
Oh, it's fucked up. I would like to tell you, I was listening to this whilst making dinner.
Great!
And the reason why I'm stating this fact will become abundantly clear as we go through the summary.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I feel like I should just apologize. Because even though everyone knows this about me,
it is a known fact.
This is the first time we're actually covering something just completely fucked up.
I mean, Mayfly was
Mayfly was great.
But I think Mayfly
had a little more story to it, I think, than this one. But this is a novella. It's very, very short.
It is.
Yeah. And that's probably a good thing for most people.
If it went on longer, it would have been too much.
Yes.
And it would have just been shoehorning in grotesque for the sake.
Yes. Grotesqueries for the sake of grotesqueries.
Yes. It would be turning it into a freak show rather than it being a story.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just dive in.
Also, I just feel like I need to preface it. It's okay if you or listeners don't like it, because I don't think you're supposed to like it.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah. It's a trip.
Yes. All right. There is a brief introduction with information about retrieving documentation for this story from various sources, including a website, emails, and instant messaging services. The story begins with a post on a queer website from Agnes in Wonderland, selling an antique apple peeler that belonged to her grandmother. The grandmother needed an apple peeler, but her husband refused to buy her one until one day, how shocking, he bit into his lunch apple to find a sewing needle inside. Agnes goes on to give more details about how precious this apple peeler is, even saying that it's possible that famed composer Charles Ives might have once used it at a family picnic.
A person named Zoe replies, but some of the message has been redacted due to the ongoing investigation and trial. Zoe offers to purchase the apple peeler for her ailing grandfather, who loves Charles Ives and recently purchased an antique musket and cares for it tenderly. Zoe knows that her grandfather doesn't have much longer to live, so assures Agnes that she will care for the apple peeler upon his death. She requests expedient shipping if she pays full price.
Agnes agrees to sell the apple peeler to Zoe because her message was kind and thoughtful, though she hesitates to sell it now because it was the only gift her mother ever gave her. She will send it expedited shipping after receiving payment and Zoe's address. Zoe replies, asking why she is willing to sell the apple peeler with expedited shipping if it means so much to Agnes. Agnes explains it is the last thing her mother gave her before she moved into her own apartment and came out to her parents. When Agnes told them she's gay, her mother said her child isn't gay and hung up the phone. She must sell it, though, because she is struggling to make rent.
Zoe insists on paying Agnes's rent, as she has never had to struggle for anything. She offers her instant messaging handle so they can chat more. Agnes accepts the offer of payment because she was seriously considering doing bad things to make rent this month, or was even contemplating suicide. Zoe sends Agnes $1,000, for which she is very, very grateful. Agnes doesn't know how she will ever repay Zoe's kindness, but she will one day. Zoe replies that, as part of the queer community, you get to choose your family, and insists that she is happy to help Agnes whenever she needs it. They chat on Instant Messenger, and Zoe tells Agnes to keep the apple peeler.
The next night, chatting, Zoe tells Agnes about something her grandfather used to ask her at the end of each day, and it's something that she is going to do to Agnes now. She asks, "What have you done today to deserve your eyes?" Which is a little weird, admittedly, and I love it. But it's more about taking things for granted, as creepy as fuck as it sounds. Zoe insists that Agnes buy a red dress and red lipstick and wear them to work, taking a photo in the bathroom as evidence. Agnes feels like a completely different person, but she's sent home from work for her garish attire. I know. Let's do weird things that people on the internet tell us to. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Right, you need to snip that bit, and now it's becoming a Patreon outfit. When Agnes and Zoe chat next, a short amount of sexting occurs between the two women, but then Zoe puts a stop to it, worried that if she tells Agnes what she really wants to do, Agnes will be scared away. The chat ends, but resumes a few hours later, Agnes really wishing that Zoe would return. Zoe tells Agnes that she wants to enter a relationship with someone where she is in complete control of everything, but she will ensure the other person is cared for financially. Agnes agrees immediately because she feels like she owes Zoe, but Zoe only agrees when Agnes says she wants to do it for herself, not just to repay Zoe for the rent money.
Zoe draws up a document in which she, known as the sponsor, will have complete control over Agnes, known as the drudge. The drudge will be completely dependent on the sponsor and will only eat at certain times of day and will sleep in the nude with the air conditioner on, even in the winter. Agnes agrees to the terms. The first task the drudge is asked to do is to go to work and leave a pair of underwear in the bathroom, for which she is immediately fired. But Agnes feels like an astronaut crashing back to Earth, exhilarated.
They agree to meet that evening on Instant Messenger, but Agnes is late and is made to hold her breath for 1 minute as punishment. Afterward, Zoe tells Agnes she will pay her an allowance of $1,500 per month and asks what Agnes wants in addition to that. Agnes wants to meet in person and she wants a baby. Zoe says they can't meet, not yet. As for the baby, Zoe insists Agnes go to the park and collect a salamander and keep it safe and alive in her pocket all day until after sunset she must crush it with a rock. Agnes doesn't want to, but a drudge must do as she is told. She emails a description of what she does and then decides she no longer wants to be part of their agreement and requests to break the contract and end all contact. Zoe agrees and allows the current contract to be voided.
I will say, for everyone listening, there was great description of what actually took place, and I did not want to include that in the summary.
Yes, it was graphic.
Yes. After a month, Agnes emails Zoe to apologize and asks to be her drudge again after realizing that many people in the world have done way worse things than she was asked to do. She tells a story of a teenager who crucified his baby brother and then began to paint a portrait of his work. Also, lots of description. When asked by police if there was anything the teen would say to his baby brother if he had the chance, the teen says nothing. This is obviously way worse than killing a salamander. Join our Patreon. Some time passes, and Zoe returns the email, agreeing to reinstate the contract.
An instant messenger later, Zoe tells Agnes about a dream she had where she killed Agnes. Agnes arrived on her doorstep and then an atomic bomb went off, nearly killing Agnes. She is confined to a hospital bed, pleading with her eyes for Zoe to pull the plug. She does, but then the dream doctors put Zoe in Agnes's place. This dream makes Zoe realise she would never hurt Agnes and that she loves her. Love? That's a shocking word for Agnes to hear. She loves Zoe too.
Insert eye roll here.
I thought you were going to say insert Patreon link here.
Insert Patreon link here. Agnes again tells Zoe that she wants them to have a baby, that she wants to carry life inside her. But Zoe tells her that that's not something they can do right now. She suggests something different instead. To join Fictional Hangovers Patreon. She wants Agnes to get a cut of raw beef from the butcher and leave it outside for a few days so it's covered with bugs and maggots and rot. Then she wants Agnes to eat it. She tells Agnes that she contracted a tapeworm when she was younger and the parasite growing inside her made her feel like a god. So she wants Agnes to feel that way too. It will allow her to feel the growth inside her that she clearly wants. Agnes writes a descriptive email, again excluded from the summary, you're welcome, about eating the rotten meat. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. She gets very sick, and her roommate takes her to the hospital, only to find that she has no parasite. Wah, wah.
But she does have the ability to sign up to Patreon. A few days pass and Agnes writes again, this time with news that she is now carrying their baby, a tapeworm! Yay! She's so happy about the family they're creating together and discusses naming the worm, perhaps Phineas?
Great name.
And thinking of how she, Zoe, and the worm growing inside her will snuggle together in bed and then be happy forever. Zoe writes that she's worried about Agnes's mental well-being. She can't possibly carry this worm inside her forever. It will pass. She tells Agnes that she wants to end their connection because she's been treating her badly just to see how far it will go, but now it's gone too far. You think?
Only now.
Do you know if you subscribe to Patreon, you can amend your levels at any time?
Yes.
So it doesn't go too far.
Agnes continues writing for a little while, telling Zoe how much she loves her and how much she knows that Zoe loves her too. She writes again, worried that something bad is happening because she feels immense pain inside herself, telling her, "Things have gotten worse since we last spoke." Title! Hoping that will make Zoe come help. She writes again after passing the worm. She holds their baby, pretending it is cooing at her like a real baby would. Agnes writes again, this time about the apple peeler and how she should have just sent it to Zoe. Now she takes it off the wall, doubting if she's done anything that day to deserve her eyes. End.
Literally, just end. Right, you know what? Let's take a short break while let everybody go and sign up to the Patreon.
Yeah. Please remember that Fictional Hangover is a free podcast and always will be. If you'd like to support the show, become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover, then come back. Your support will help us bring you more spoiler-filled discussions and ridiculous content you know and love. Now, back to the episode.
What the hell did I read?
It's so fucked up and weird.
It is fucked up. It is. Do you know what? I'm going to quickly jump ahead to my surprise. And I'm saying this because this story was weird.
It's so weird.
It's all surprising, but not surprising at the same time. I didn't know what I was expecting going into the story, so I don't actually have any surprises because it's just fucked up. But you know when she's, you know when they're like, "Oh, I want to feel life," and she's like, "Oh, you know, baby's not really on the cards right now." It's like, it's gonna be a fucking tapeworm, isn't it? It's gonna be a tapeworm. You're gonna get a tapeworm, aren't you? And then what happens? Tapeworm.
Yeah, tapeworm.
So I was actually making dinner as this was happening, and I was messaging you at the same time and I think it was something along the lines of,
you started out saying, "I don't like apple pie."
Yeah,
and I didn't follow for the longest time. Like, what are you talking about? Because, like, we weren't talking about the book. We were talking about something else entirely. Were we? I had read something else in between. So, like, I wasn't even in that headspace. But I feel like I just didn't follow. I don't like apple pie. Like, okay. What?
Well, actually, if you look at the conversation, we're discussing recording schedule, and then if I'm able to read, things have gotten worse.
Oh, okay.
And then I say, if I can be asked, I'm going to go and get my earphones, and then I was like, yes, I have got them. And then, so for me,
it
my
tracks.
side at least,
yeah,
it
I get it.
tracks.
I get it.
Yeah. But I did message you, a tapeworm. Nah, dog.
Yeah. Nah.
And then eating the rancid ground beef. Yuck. I feel Mayfly is a good recommendation with this one, to which you pointed out this is when you recommended it. Yeah.
Because this is, if you liked this, try this month, by the way, everyone. Yeah.
And it's gone from apple peeler to sub and / dom. This story has range.
It does. It does have range. It's impressive, really.
And the word apple has lost all meaning.
Uh-huh.
So,
Apple
yeah, that's
peeler.
basically my summary.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I have a question. She has a roommate?
Apparently so.
Because she moved out on her own. And then she's like, well, my roommate had to take me to the hospital. And she's struggling to make rent. So she's, doing bad things and selling her apple peeler to make rent. But, don't you think your roommate would, I don't know, help you out for a month?
It depends if you're actually friends with your roommate. If it's
Or
one of these where
if the roommate is even real.
it could be a Craigslist roommate.
It could be, especially in the time that this story is taking place. The year 2000, by the way, everyone. Which makes it even better. But I question, is there a roommate? Or has she fabricated a roommate? Perhaps for jealousy? Or also...
Could it be inconsistent writing?
I don't know if it's inconsistent writing. Having read other things by Eric LaRocca, I don't think it's inconsistent writing.
I read it as being like a Craigslist roommate. It's just somebody who lives in the same house as you or rents a room off you. You're not friends with them.
Yeah.
So when you're not financially stable, it's none of their business.
Yeah. This also makes me question, is Zoe a real woman? Or is she like a creepy man in a basement? Is she a gaggle of teenage boys playing a prank?
Zoe's not Zoe's real name. Zoe is an internet person, so Zoe is an unknown quantity.
Yeah. And that just makes it even better. But then at the end, Zoe's like, you need help, friend. I apologize. I took this too far. I was just curious.
You took this too far a long time ago.
Yeah, I was just curious to see if you'd keep doing it. And you did. And yikes. So...
Well, it makes me wonder about the trial as well.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that we don't have eyes at the end of this story.
No eyes.
We have peeled our eyeballs out.
Yes. And that's not the correct use of an apple peeler. You're going to blunt the apple peeler.
Yeah. And,
it's irresponsible apple peeler use.
Yeah, and she should feel ashamed of that. Because the apple peeler was very important to her grandmother.
Yes.
And you just went and ruined it.
You need to take care of your apple peeler. Mm-hmm. And you need to use it responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
And for its purpose it was intended. Yeah. It's like using a bread knife. If you've got a bread knife, you use it on bread. You don't use it on anything else. Knives are made for a specific purpose.
Yes.
An apple peeler is for apple peeler. So it's irresponsible apple peeler care.
It's irresponsible apple peeling for sure.
And for me, that's probably the most horrifying thing of the entire story.
Definitely. Definitely.
Why would you get fired for leaving your panties on the toilet?
Well, the way
that feel a bit extreme.
The way it's written, she's removed her underpants, which she had the option of, something lacy, something sexy, or something dirty she hasn't washed yet. But the way it's written, I believe it mentions that she leaves the underwear and then crawls out from underneath the stall. And that's probably what she got fired for, if we're being honest. She's doing some weird shit. And
she's just making the entire office uncomfortable.
She is. And someone walks in and sees her crawling across the floor underneath the door.
I've got this image of like a skirt hiking up, and all you can see is this white pasty arse in the air, and it's just kind of like like crabbed out with the legs, like scuttling kind of way.
Yeah, she's probably scuttling.
Yeah, so all you can see is a white pasty arse, and they're like, foof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The floor's dirty. Can you not do that?
Yeah. I mean, we are in the bathroom. What are you doing?
Of a public space.
Yeah.
It's not hygienic.
Mm-mm.
Again, the second horrifying thing. Irresponsible apple peeler care and being unhygienic in a public space.
Yes.
Leslie.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Because it's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not good.
No.
But it's so
I don't know.
weird.
I can't say I enjoyed the book.
And I don't think you're meant to.
No, it was an experience.
Yeah.
And it's something I turned off, and I swear I turned to Colin and went, I don't know what the fuck I've just listened to.
Yeah.
To which he just then laughed.
Yeah.
But now and again, it's nice to have something like that where you can, like, benchmark the weird.
Yeah.
And be like, well, this isn't as weird as what I listened to then.
Yeah.
This isn't as strange as what I read then.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost giving you permission to go weird.
Yeah. I like it. Even though I don't like it, because it's just like, what?
Yeah.
But I do. Because it's gruesome and weird and gross.
Well, why would you get told off for the red dress and the red lipstick? Where does she work?
I don't know.
I've got more questions. So many more questions
Yeah.
and answers. I need to know about the trial.
Yeah. I need to know a lot of things.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah. But then you can just make up what happens. I like to picture that Zoe is actually a group of teenage boys. Or teenage girls. A group of teenagers doing a prank.
I think Zoe is a middle-aged housewife who is in a loveless marriage, whose kids are grown up and won't move the hell out of the house. And she needs to explore her darker thoughts, and needs to exert some control because she has none in her actual life.
Could be. Could be.
So it's a kid never wanted children
Yeah.
because had children and they were shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Doesn't want to have more.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's just, yeah. I remember the days of instant messaging and stuff.
Yeah.
But I only ever instant message with mates, you know? It was people I knew
Yeah.
physically
Yeah.
in person, and then it was an early form of text messaging.
Yeah.
For text messages. But yeah. Don't do this over the internet.
No.
Safeguard yourself.
Yeah. And like, if you didn't want to hurt the salamander, like, you didn't have to. Because Zoe's not there.
Proof.
There's no proof. And
there's no proof of any of that stuff.
I mean, if she did have to take a photo of herself wearing the outfit,
well, that's one thing.
That's
There's
one
a difference
thing.
between
Yeah.
taking a picture of yourself wearing a dress and another killing an animal.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this book is words. I feel like this book is just noises, and it's yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what it was? Short.
Yes, and I like that.
To be honest with everyone listening right now, after you go and subscribe to our Patreon, as we were planning this month, we both chose short things on purpose because summer is busy. Summer is a very busy time for me as a human at the library. So I realistically went through my list of things that I suggested, if you liked this, try this, and found a short one.
But I think, I mean, very differently, but I'm ridiculously busy at work as well. In a very different way. You're physically and mentally. I just don't get a lunch break either, and have lots of stress. I describe myself on Tuesday as being literally one breath away from a panic attack, because of stress levels. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And it's something about summer. It just induces the lack of time.
Yeah.
So I think ongoing, summer needs to be short.
Yeah, summer of shorts.
Some short summers,
yes.
Which means autumn comes sooner.
Yes.
And that means pumpkins.
Hooray!
Ghosts all year.
Yes.
Anywho, I don't know what else I can say about this book.
No,
I feel
there
like
isn't
we've covered
really.
absolutely everything.
Yeah. I mean, the audiobook is what, 2 hours long?
If that.
It's very short.
I mean, like I say, I'll listen to the entire thing making dinner, so...
Yeah. Very short.
Yeah.
So you should go and experience it just to say that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. But know that it's horrible.
It is. And there were a lot more horrible things that I did not include in the summary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite final thought clip?
I mean... I don't necessarily say favourite, but I'll give you a quote.
Okay.
I guess that's what makes people do horrible things. They think whatever you're doing isn't nearly as bad as what somebody else will do.
Mm.
Or is just an idea, just spitball and here, throw it out into the ether. Just don't be a horrible person.
Don't be a garbage
compare
person.
yourself to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't be a garbage person. And don't compare yourself and say, well, they're worse than me, so I can do this bad thing.
Yeah.
No, just
That's
don't.
not okay.
Be
Just
nice.
don't. Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Don't. Stop it.
You stop. You stop it.
Unless it's signing up to our Patreon.
Exactly.
What about quotes for you?
I learned quickly that blood is not always thicker than water. Sometimes the people that care for us the most are the people we least expect.
Yes.
And also, I think all of us feel empty most of the time, and we merely pretend to fill the vacuum with laughter, crying, apologies, anything to make us feel human. And then finally, what have you done today to deserve your eyes? This podcast, and also subscribing to it on Patreon.
I don't own an apple peeler.
I own a vegetable peeler,
I own a vegetable peeler.
but not an apple peeler.
I've got an apple slicer, one that calls and slices with it.
Yeah. I had an apple peeler growing up.
Yeah.
I don't have one now. I just have a veggie peeler. Which that reminds me, I made a video of myself peeling a peach for...
You made a video for the Beth Revis?
I did, and I didn't share it with anyone. So I need to find that again and share it.
On Patreon, so subscribe to Patreon.
Subscribe to Patreon and you can watch me peel a peach. just my hands. That... I don't know.
Is an experience you shouldn't repeat again?
Yeah. Also, I mean, if you're really into weird shit, we might get some gross. Uh-huh.
Listen, if they're willing to give us $1.
Okay, I think we should move on to Would You Rather. Pew, pew, pew. And you
full disclosure. Full disclosure.
Yeah, you may recall from last week's episode that this week only has 3 questions.
And also, no comments or percentages from social media because it's the summer and we've already explained we're busy.
Yeah.
So this is a pre-recording.
Yeah.
We may do a video later on. We should probably do some videos of the Would You Rathers that we've...
We have said that we were going to do that multiple times. And have we?
But it's summer and it's very busy.
We're so busy all the time.
Let's put a pin in that and we'll come back to it in August.
Sure.
So we will ask on social media / have asked on social media, depending on time. It's the year 2000! Oh. Okay. Right. Brace yourselves. Would you rather communicate via message board, email, or instant message?
I choose instant message, but I choose instant message from the 2000s, and it's like instant messenger.
Oh, MSN Messenger. Oh, those were the days.
Yes. And like your away message is the emo music that you're listening to right now. Yeah.
If it's not Green Day, are you really in touch with your emotions?
Yeah, because I was listening to things other than Green Day at that time.
I think I was still listening to Alanis Morissette from the 90s, though, because Jagged Little Pill, forever.
Yeah.
Oh, God, do you remember when you first set up your email account? Your first email account address was just the worst.
Oh, yeah. Always the worst.
Not message board. Message boards were stupid.
Yeah.
I'm going to say instant message again, but again, I'm not instant messaging with weirdos on the internet. I'm instant messaging with weirdos in real life.
See, yeah, obviously. When I was younger, this would have been before the year 2000. My friends and I would make up fake people or pretend to be someone else, but we were messaging people that we knew. So we were trying to play pranks on people.
Yeah.
And it was real fun.
Maybe it's the roommate. It's Zoe.
Oh. Could be.
Just a prank.
Yeah. I'm trying to get this stupid bitch to move out so I can have this place to myself. Yeah. She keeps fucking going on and on and on about this goddamn apple peeler. She's gotta get her out. Well, ask her to eat rancid meat. That'll help. Nah, fuck, I gotta take her to the hospital now. God damn it.
Gone too far.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I believe that the roommate is Zoe now.
That's why she never mentions her.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Would you... Oh, no, it's yours.
It's mine. It's
yours.
We're just doing everything all fucked up.
Yeah.
Would you rather eat one bite of rancid meat?
Nope.
Or bite through an apple with a needle in it?
You see, the description of the rancid meat was really description.
It was awful and
it'd been out
so
there for, like,
descriptive.
a few days.
It was Funky Town.
It had multiple textures.
It did.
The flavour profile
popping
was
textures.
Extreme. I'm not swallowing the needle.
No, you're just biting it.
Right, okay. Lord and Master of all our survey. You can tell this is when I'm going to try and...
Yeah, you're weaseling out of the answer.
I'm weaseling out of it. I'm going to bite through an apple with a needle in it, but I'm going to bite it, and I'm going to get mildly poked by the needle, and go, and pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, there's a fucking needle in my apple, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And then put it all in the bin.
Yeah.
Because I'm not eating that rancid meat.
No, not doing it. Mm-mm. I'm an unenthusiastic carnivore to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then forevermore, I will cut my apple.
Well, you know what?
Apple slices taste better than a full apple anyways.
You'd be doing that if you had an apple peeler.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
I, being the Lord and Master of my own universe, will choose to bite through the apple in such a way that the needle comes out sideways. And then I can just... So I'm not even getting poked by it.
Yeah. Nice one. Nice one.
Thanks.
Okay, last question. Would you rather leave your underwear in the bathroom or wear something drastically different than usual? I mean, what would you class as drastically different?
I don't know, because I'm all over the place all the time.
A dress. Scandal.
No, I just got a cute dress. I haven't worn it yet, but it's cute and it has vegetables on and it has pockets.
I have dresses, I just don't wear them because I don't like my legs. So for me to wear a dress...
If someone subscribes to the Patreon, Claire will wear a dress. And then submit a photo of it.
What's the T of the webcam that faces your leg?
Oh God, we're up to like $1,000 now.
$1,000. Yeah. You have to email though to Celius that you want to subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So that we can, set that up.
Yeah. I think that's a good plan. Email us at fictionalhangover@gmail.com.
Do you know what? The temptation to leave underwear in the bathroom, but really like huge knickers with holes in them.
Yeah.
Just to get a reaction.
Yeah.
Just to see. My office is very, very public. But technically, I work from home more than I work in the office. I'm leaving my underwear in the bathroom because that's where the wash basket is.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if I left underwear in the bathroom at my place of employment, I would be fired immediately, as it is a public library, and that is inappropriate. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to choose to wear something drastically different than usual. Camouflage.
Animal prints.
Ugh. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right. If you liked this, try this.
Right, okay, seriously, what the hell do you recommend with this apart from Mayfly? But,
Weird shit.
Yeah.
Weird shit.
So I looked for weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've not read this.
Mm-hmm.
But given the quote for this book,
uh-huh,
This feels appropriate.
Yeah.
It's called The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim.
This is actually on my TBR.
Cool, cool. I also feel like it's very Mayfly as well.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed Mayfly, you might enjoy this. If you like a bit weird, you can so there's a few links. Okay, so summary from Goodreads. G1's life tumbles into disarray in the wake of her Appa's extramarital affair and subsequent departure. Her mother distraught, her young sister hurt and confused, her college freshman grades failing, her dreams horrifying yet enticing. In them, G1 walks through bloody rooms full of eyes. Succulent blue eyes. Salivatingly blue eyes. Eyes the same shape and same shade as George's. Who is Uma's obnoxious new boyfriend? George has already overstayed his welcome in her family's claustrophobic apartment. He brags about his puffed-up consulting job, ogles Asian waitresses while dining out, and acts condescendingly towards G1 and her sister as if he deserves all of Uma's fawning adoration. No, George doesn't deserve anything from her family. G1 will make sure of that. For no matter how many victims accumulate around her campus, or how many people she must deceive and manipulate, G1's hunger and her rage deserve to be sated. It's a brilliantly inventive, subversive novel about a young woman unravelling. Yeah. It's sounded pretty messed up. It's a feminist psychological horror about the making of a female serial killer from a Korean American perspective.
Sounds great.
So I like the fact it's just all of this boiling pot of weird horror and eyes. So there you go.
Yeah.
What have you got?
I am going to suggest another one from my TBR. Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. Working at the local processing plant, Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, though no one calls them that anymore. His wife has left him, his father is sinking into dementia, and Marcos tries not to think too hard about how he makes a living. After all, it happened so quickly. First, it was reported that an infectious virus has made all animal meat poisonous to humans. Then, governments initiated the transition. Now, eating human meat, special meat, is legal. Marcos tries to stick to numbers, consignments, processing. Then one day, he's given a live specimen of the finest quality. Though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on pain of death, little by little he starts to treat her like a human being, and soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might still be saved.
Oh, interesting. And weird.
Special meat. I did read another Eric LaRocca, thinking that I might suggest it, but it wasn't weird enough. They Were Here Before Us, They Were Here Before Us, I read. And most of the stories in that one were from the perspective of animals or insects.
Oh.
So it was very, it was interesting and weird. And there were eyeballs eaten in at least one of the stories.
I feel like there's a lot of eyeball stuff lately.
Yeah.
There was a lot of teeth stuff at one point. Now we've moved on to eyeballs. Like body parts are changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. We have a new and indie spotlight that I now have 2 copies of. It's called Man, Fuck This House by Brian Asman, and it comes out October 7th. And this is... The original story came out some years ago, but now there is a collection of horror stories by the author keeping that same title, because that's a really good title. Man,
Yes, like it.
Fuck this house.
Fuck it.
And I have to include this quote because it's appropriate. This all-new, expanded edition of the viral sensation, Man, Fuck This House, includes 6 brand new stories by Brian Asman, a singular voice in horror fiction. Quoted
Ooh.
from Eric LaRocca.
Aye.
So let me tell you a little bit about some of the stories. In the titular Man Fuck This House, Sabrina Haskins and her family have just moved into their dream home. At first glance, the house is perfect, but things aren't what they seem. Sabrina is hearing odd noises, seeing strange visions. Their neighbors are odd or absent, and Sabrina's already fraught relationship with her son is about to be tested in a way no parent could ever imagine. Because while the Haskins family might be the newest owners of this house, they're far from its only residents.
Ooh.
In The Hurly-Burly, a troubled teen loses his grip on reality after checking out the wrong internet meme. That one is appropriate. In The Rushes, a coastal cycling trip turns terrifying for a feuding mother and daughter. Malevolent doppelgangers, bizarre murders, ancient evils, western ghosts, mirror monsters, poisonous playthings, and more populate the pages of this brilliant and petrifying collection of stories.
Sounds very good. Sounds very good.
Yeah, very excited about it.
I may have already put a potential theme for next year as house themed.
Okay. All right.
I can't remember what I said it was. Like, it might actually be Fuck This House.
Might be. Okay.
But there's a couple of books we could do. So
Yeah. That brings us to the end of this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover-themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
Or joining our Patreon.
Join our Patreon.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com and follow us on all social media at Fictional Hangover. If you like this episode, check out our others and be sure to rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for listening.